Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
You need that fear.
All I'm trying to do is make a stand for something that I truly believe is right. I truly believe is right. I want to be like you. Come on, man. I'm the face of boxing. I'm the cash cow. I hold it back with a finger.
My drop, I know my drop, I know my situation. I want to fight. That's my production. But it's gonna be very difficult for both of us.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of The Boxing Voice. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at NestGTO. Well, we definitely have a lot to discuss today. We're going to keep it topic-oriented, and we're going to be talking about the young Gervonta Davis and his failed attempt to make weight, not once, not twice. Third time was the charm. After about 90 minutes from the first attempt on the scales, Gervonta was able to make the weight. We'll discuss that, give you our immediate reaction, and obviously take your phone calls and ask your immediate reactions. A lot to think about when wondering what could have took place. Why did he exactly miss weight? Was it the scales? Is it the food? Did he not go to the United Kingdom with enough time to have his body acclimate to not only the time zone difference, but also the food? You don't know what you're going to be receiving in these hotels that you're booked in, right? But we'll discuss this further in more detail, obviously. We're going to head on out to the Golden State, to the home of the Hipster.
BBBC production.
This is a beautiful performance against a very tough guy in Michael Johnson. How do you feel about it? Fuck that. Conor McGregor.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
You know me, Larry. From a wicked entrance, from a flip over the rock into a knockout. When the main thing is, I just hope the guy. I wish.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Yes, the Hipsters here. Haters beware. And it's an interesting thing because it is only 2 ounces. He only missed the weight on the first attempt by 2 ounces. That is it. So it's not an egregious amount by far. And you bring up several reasons that could all be realistically the reason as to why he missed weight. The food, how much time he gave himself to cut the weight in the UK. He only went out 5 days before the fight. That's very short compared to like Earl Spence, who's going out 2 weeks before his fight. Just a little bit different methods of training right there, or preparation right there. But I think just overall, it's just a PR blunder, I would say, because Floyd Mayweather may not have a history of missing weight, but there's a man connected with Mayweather, connected with the TMT brand that has had a long history of missing weight, and that is Adrien Broner. So I wonder if unfortunately some fans might lump Gervonta Davis missing 2 ounces, probably due to maybe a faulty scale, in my opinion, and lump him with guys like Adrien Broner, who's missed weight egregiously, who's been a weight bully in the past. So I just think that there will be some people bringing those 2 guys up together, either on the callers today or in the chat, in the comment section on Twitter. Unfortunately, that's going to be a narrative going forward that Gervonta Davis will have to deal with, unfortunately, because I don't know if he's ever missed weight. I don't think he has. So this is his first time ever missing weight, and now people are going to classify him as somebody that misses weight, that's somebody that you cannot trust to be prepared. Unfortunately, I think that's what the public will think.
I am not necessarily sure about that. He made the weight. He made the weight. He's not, I know you want to associate him with Broner, and not necessarily you. You're generalizing the topic and basically saying that the public will generalize Davis and group him in there with all other Mayweather proteges. I do understand, but the difference, and a very big difference between Broner and the young Tank Davis, is that Broner lost his title on the scales. Davis went back and made the weight. And you also bring up another good point. Could the scales have been off? Could they have been tampered with?
No, I wouldn't say tampered with, because that implies
we're supposed to Q and the B. I mean, we're at
oh.
the end of the day, this is a show. We got to make it entertaining.
I don't think it was tampered with. I think if it was, why would you tamper it only 2 ounces? I mean,
second day, if you watch the second attempt, obviously credit iFilm London, always doing a wonderful job out there in the UK to get us the best coverage, and definitely inside. And they're so close to the action, Matt, you can see the look of confusion upon Davis's face. He doesn't know what the fuck is going on a second attempt now. You know, he's looking at the scales, he's looking at his coach, he's talking, he's making faces. But again, thank God he went back, made the weight. We have a fight. And I also went back and watched some more of the buildup to this. And, those are saying the Tank isn't talking much. I mean, I went back and heard him take quite a few shots. He called one of the Walsh brothers a cold bum and a pussy for sure. And I know we mentioned that yesterday, but I had heard more Floyd saying those things. But then, during the press conference, I believe it was Anthony Yardy, the heavyweight, that asked them a question and kind of antagonized Davis into saying what he needed to say, which is only good for his brand. Walsh was more of the, well, I don't know. If a knockout comes, it comes. I know I'm going to get the win. And he's like, Floyd just looks at Gervonta and starts laughing. I mean, this whole buildup is entertaining. And I want to touch on another point that you mentioned. You said, this is bad. But I think that we have to go to that golden cliche.
All bad publicity is good publicity.
All publicity is good publicity. Not just bad. All publicity is good publicity. We're talking about him. We're doing immediate reactions. The public is going to write, like you said, the boxing fans will probably dislike him, but isn't that the Mayweather effect? Mayweather didn't take Tank. Yeah, Mayweather didn't take Tank over there to be friendly. They're calling people bitches, pussies, cold bums. Mayweather said he would beat all 3 of them in the same night. And this is not me. These are his quotes. It's out there. Use the internet. So maybe he wants that. Maybe he knows that the way for a young inner city African-American fighter to cross over is to play the role of the bad guy for at least a period.
If you're implying that this was or that there was a theory,
not just the way in, Matt. Don't stay focused on the way. I mean, all together, the demeanor, the attitude.
Of course, they're going over there to be the bad guy.
To the UK, it seems they went there to play mind games and be the bad guys.
Well, of course they were going to be the bad guy going into the UK, and obviously with Mayweather in tow next to him, Mayweather is the bad guy of boxing. He will always be the bad guy of boxing.
But in this
you by default have to be when you're next to him.
Not necessarily. In this circumstance, you don't have to. You can choose to be actually the nice guy and introduce that you're even signing someone from the UK instead of being the bad guy signing someone from the UK, which would probably only make people in the UK.
If you're Mayweather and you were Pretty Boy Floyd, and you were not the star that you were when you were Money May, the bad boy of boxing, why would you stop being the bad boy boxer when you're the promoter?
I hear you. So, what does this mean? Hold
on, can we just very quickly maybe follow the path of he actually missed weight? That this was just a lack of discipline?
No way.
You think it's impossible with 2 ounces?
No. His work ethic is just insane. I mean, anyone that knows Tank knows how hard he works.
Just to address that, like when you look at, let's say, Broner, because I mentioned Broner's name. If you look at his Instagram feed or his story, it's him at Gucci Mane concerts, him with the Migos. If you look at Gervonta Davis, he's in the gym all day, every day. In 2 ounces, that is very likely just to his hotel room scale was off compared to the commission's scale, which is very different. They're calibrated differently sometimes. So that's what I alluded to. That's what I think it is, just a faulty scale that's happened before. And with 2 ounces, I highly doubt that they went down there going, yeah, we're not on weight right now. But, only 2 ounces. We're just going to go down there and miss weight. Like, that didn't make a lot of sense to me. I think they would just cut the extra 2 ounces. That's not that much for these guys.
Totally agree. And also agree about his Instagram and what it appears to show us, right? I mean, it appears that he's always in the gym. So this does strike me as strange, but your theory makes way more logical sense. They probably had a scale in their room and they were going based off that one, and that one wasn't matched up with,
or the scale in the hotel gym where there's a sauna potentially. And if you've ever been in a hotel gym, those scales are not the best, I would say.
Now, speaking of sauna, we remember Gary Russell using one of those before a big fight and not doing well. I mean, other fighters, and remember, this is an IBF fight. He still got tomorrow's next day weigh-in. He can't go 10 pounds above the 130, so all he can weigh is 140. Is this going to affect him? Because he didn't look bone dry. I'm watching every video out there, and I'm not seeing him look like, oh my God, like he's not looking like people thought Chavez looked, for instance. He's not looking sucked dry, but that's my opinion. I wonder what the listeners will say. Did he look dry to you? Like he couldn't squeeze out anymore?
No, I don't think so. I thought he looked in good shape. I thought he's always looked in good shape. Again, I know that there's people in the chat saying like scales are scales. No, motherfucker, like not every scale is different, and you can have scales that get worn down. The calibration gets worn down. You have different types of scales with different sorts of measuring equipment within them and technology. So the idea that every scale is the same is just not true. I'm sorry. They can be a couple ounces difference. There could be even a couple pounds of difference. That's happened before.
So what about Liam saying that Gervonta is a Mayweather puppet?
I can see why he thinks that. I think whenever you are positioned next to a mouthpiece like Mayweather, who's always going to steal the spotlight, you're going to come off as a puppet or as a tool or as a minion or whatever word you want to use. You're not going to come off as the dominant person in the relationship. But that's fine. It's Gervonta Davis is becoming a star through Mayweather. He is getting that shine from him. So even if it's true that he's a puppet, it's obviously working for Gervonta Davis, in my opinion.
Now, once upon a time, Liam wanted to fight Pedraza. He wanted his shot, and he wanted Pedraza to beat Tank. Now, here we are a day out, and there's no way a Pedraza fight would have been this big. The best thing that happened to Liam was that Tank won that title, and Mayweather came to the UK with Tank, because this is a way bigger fight than it would have ever been had it been Pedraza versus Liam Walsh.
Of course. Well, Pedraza was the weakest link out of all the champions, both in skill and in stardom. Let's be honest. So, I love you, Pedraza. You're an entertaining fighter to me, but you weren't the biggest star. You weren't the most challenging champion. So, yeah.
Hating on my Puerto Rican brethrens. Listen, we're going to go out to the phone lines. Ladies and gentlemen, you know the number. 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 just one time if you want to voice your opinion here on the Voice of the People hotline. And Skype callers, you can call us internationally by adding Nestor Gibbs on Skype. That's NESTORGIBBS. Before we get to our calls, we're going to go out to our sponsors. Keep those lights on.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Going out to one of our listeners in the UK. We're going out to Rob. Talk to us.
Yeah, hi fellas, how you doing?
All right, all right. What's going on, brother? What is your immediate reaction to this whole weigh-in fiasco?
Yeah, I mean, it was good entertainment. It was quite a hostile environment. I think you could hear the British fans getting behind Walsh and giving Gervonta plenty of stick. But you know, 2 ounces, it's nothing really. Perhaps he went back, took a shit, and he was good to go. I mean, I've been all over Twitter. I mean, I've been chatting with Matt and having some good banter, and I've got a bet with Alex Lemon, and I've got a TBV t-shirt coming my way when Team Tankbuster takes the belt.
That's right. I heard you're picking the wanker team.
That's it, mate. Yeah. I'm all over it.
I know. I actually seen all the correspondence on the Twitter, and I noticed. I'm like, oh my God. How is he listening to this show and he hasn't learned? You're picking with your heart. Yesterday, we tried to clarify that with our listeners. Let's no longer pick with our heart. Steven himself said, that's it. No more getting bad picks. No more picking with the heart. So you can't pick with the heart on this one.
It's okay. It's okay.
You can do it. It's too late for him now. He's already got a bet on it. You walked the plank.
Yeah, I've walked the plank. I'm staring down in the dark waters, my friend. But you know, I've also got money at 3-1 on Walsh. I think it's going to be a tough fight for Gervonta. I know he's got the skills. I know, but you know, over in the UK, let's see how he handles it. I mean, whether his ventriloquist can keep his puppet in, you know, and keep it going, I don't know.
I love it. The puppet master. Listen. Thank you for calling in, Rob. We're going to get out to the other ventriloquist. I love it. We're going to get out to some other callers. We're going to go to America. Donald in Richmond, California. Talk to us. Good morning or
What's
afternoon.
up,
no, it's morning for you. Morning for you. Good morning, brother.
Man, it seemed like I haven't talked to you all hella long, man. The other day I was listening to the show, but I was at work and I had to get off. I couldn't stay on to talk. But, man, I'm not going to lie. When I seen this, I was scared for Gervonta. I said, no, he can't lose the title on the scale. No, we can't go out like this. Like, he worked so hard to get to where he was at. He put a good fight up against, Pedraza, beat him really good, looked really good. I said, no, man, I don't want to see this happen to Gervonta like this. But I heard that you guys said that he made the weight, so I was like, okay, good, he made the weight. You know, I say that this is going to be, I think that this will be somewhat of a semi-good fight. I say if this guy, Walsh, is as decent as a fighter as I think he might be, I see a late stoppage, you know, like 8th, 9th, maybe 10th round. But if not, you know, Gervonta can get him out there, get him out early, you know, and I think what probably happened is that whatever scale he was using,
Damn, Matt, that was pretty quick.
I didn't do it.
Lies. Go ahead.
What happened?
I don't know.
Okay, yeah. So what I was saying is I guess whatever scale that Gervonta was using, you know, it wasn't accurate, and you know that's not too harsh. I mean, I can see him using a scale somewhere and you know getting to the weigh-in, and 2 ounces, that wasn't that bad. It wasn't like he was 1 or 2 pounds off, so that wasn't that bad. That can happen, you know, when you're doing weigh-ins and stuff like that. I know I use my scale at home, and then I go to the gym, and my scale at home I say I'm this weight, and then the scale at the gym I say I'm another way. So it happens, you know. I'm just happy that he made the weight. And, you know, we're going to see Gervonta continue to be the champion. I'm pretty sure he'll win this fight. But, you know, he should have went over to the UK a few days earlier. Not saying that him going 5 days ahead of time made that much of a difference on the 2 ounces, but he should have gave himself a little bit more time to be comfortable. Like Errol Spence is going, you know, 2 weeks earlier is which he went. And, you know, he should have did something like that. But I'm picking Gervonta to win by a stoppage, and you know I want to see him continue to be the champion. You know he's putting up he's going to do a good career hopefully, but you know, and then the thing with the Mayweather, I seen the video. Mayweather knows that we got
to get to some other callers, brother. I'm gonna come back if I can because we got other people waiting, and this is an immediate reaction. So we want to do that. Get to everybody and get their immediate reaction. We're going to go out to Larry in San Francisco and see what was your reaction. Larry, what's going on?
Hey, big ups to the Boxing Voice. Hey, I want to say right now, I've been influenced by you and Matt. Whenever I hear somebody didn't make weight, I immediately think, man, that's your job to make weight. You're undisciplined. Then when you connect that to the fact that he is a Mayweather fighter and he is kind of, they say big boned back in the day too, big boned body type for 130. So I added all that up to be, man, undisciplined, not making weight. But after hearing the compelling evidence y'all laid out, I'm willing to take a step back and give him the benefit of the doubt on that. Now, with that said, if he's at 135 in the next fight or two, or if he has trouble tomorrow, I might jump back on the other side. But appreciate y'all laying it out like that. Also, last thing, big ups to Mayweather Promotions and Leonard Ellerby and all of them for going over and building in the UK. I have been saying that all U.S. black fighters should do two things. One, learn to speak Spanish. Two, build in the UK where they love boxing and they pay for it. So I'm glad to see that happening. I see Davis getting the W tomorrow, and I'm out.
Larry, excellent call, my friend. Excellent call. Larry, longtime listener. Perfect call there. I just want to say he's right. I never thought about that. Maybe black fighters should learn how to speak Spanish. It definitely helps me. I always catch people by surprise. I mean, even yesterday when I had to interview Felix Diaz, I had to step in because the translator, you know, no disrespect to him. They listen to the show, by the way, him specifically, the trainer specifically, but his translation was basura, B, which translates to trash. So Larry is right. And the UK is booming. I mean, look how many people are coming out in support of Walsh when, in my opinion, I mean, I watched the press conference. Gervonta told Walsh, he says, bro, they've been protecting you ever since your last loss to that Paul guy. And I'm doing pretty good of paraphrasing this here. He says, ever since that last loss to that Paul guy that I don't even know his last name, it's like they realized you had no chin and they've been keeping you away from the power. So they built you up nice. So I don't know. Then the other brother yells out and he's like, bro, you're a stone cold bum. You already lost twice. So for those that think that there isn't a personality there, I think that there is.
Liam Walsh is undefeated though.
We're not talking about Liam. Liam, we're talking about yeah. Well, okay. Well, if he's undefeated, then Gervonta still told him that. Like whoever's Paul, I guess he got dropped in the Paul fight. You got to watch the press conference. I guess he told him when he got dropped in the Paul fight, they've been keeping him away from the power. But one of the brothers has 2 losses, and he called him a stone cold bum.
Ryan Walsh is not good.
Well, let's get out to the callers. We're gonna go out to Texas, Longhorn State, to the always classy Class and Bound.
Hey, so I just heard the news about Gervonta Davis making weight on the 3rd try. I think, it tends to happen. I mean, well, that kind of stuff doesn't, it's not usual or common, but I think maybe he might have been bulking up a little more just for Walsh's sake. I don't know if he's taking Walsh more seriously than Pedraza, but all in all, I think he'll be fine. I didn't make my pick for Gervonta Davis yet, so I'm picking Gervonta Davis over Walsh because I don't know too much about the guy. I'm picking Davis by KO. I've actually been watching Davis's fight recently because I haven't I didn't know too much about the kid, but he seems to have a bit of a chip on his shoulder, and I really like his work ethic. He seems to be a really solid kid. And I hope him and I've also been checking out Tevin Farmer because apparently his name has been brought up with Gervonta Davis. So hopefully we'll see what goes down the road for him.
All right, Class and Bound. Just to fill in our listeners that don't know the whole Tevin Farmer and Tank Davis, what could we call it, Matt? Help me.
Tevin Farmer trying to get a big fight, and no one really taking him seriously, unfortunately. I don't know what you call that.
Yeah, what do you call that? But there is a rivalry there. Some sort of a rivalry. I even remember watching the correspondence on Twitter between the two where Tank said, come to the gym, come get this work. And Tevin said, hell no. No sparring matches. Let's fight. Send that contract. Then at the Vasil Lomachenko fight versus Jason Sosa in the MGM Harbor in the DMV area over there in Maryland, DC, Washington area. I was live at that fight when the whole Tevin Farmer ran down on Tank. Like, yo, when you going to fight me? And then, they started some touching. It wasn't Tevin touching Davis, but Davis's team trying to restrain him because he was getting a little upset. Sam Watson, the father of the infamous Watson twins, he was there and he got a couple of yells for trying to restrain Davis. Now, if you're Floyd and you win this fight, this is your mandatory versus Liam Walsh. The smart thing to do is get a voluntary in the hometown of Davis or the hometown area, possibly the MGM, because Floyd already has the relationship with the MGM in Las Vegas. I'm sure it'll be easy for him to get the room in the MGM Harbor. The problem with that, Matt, it's only $2,900, and I'm telling you.
Say that. They should get a bigger place in
Baltimore. I'm going to
go Baltimore.
Yeah, well, DC.
No, think about this. Think about this for a second. Baltimore, with what has been happening to that city in the past few years, needs a hero. They need somebody to they need a LeBron James sort of thing. They need somebody to come around and go, this is our star. This is our guy. This is our sporting athlete that we're going to get around. Gervonta Davis could be that. And a headliner in Baltimore could be huge.
I hear that. The thing is, Lamont Peterson, he's probably the bigger name in that area, and he's fought in DC, and there's an arena there. I mean, I guess that's all semantics, right? But the thing is,
I mean, Robert Easter Jr. is fighting in Toledo, Ohio.
Yeah, that's his hometown.
But it's Toledo. Baltimore is a much bigger metropolitan area than Toledo.
But he's packing it. Robert Easter had like 13 over there.
Exactly. I bet Gervonta can pull close to that in Baltimore.
I just think if he goes to the DC area, because you got to remember, Tank is very known in that area. He sparred with Broner and Lamont. He's trained at Headbangers. They're all, Jared Hurd, all those guys, all those Baltimore, that's why it's the DMV, all those Baltimore, Maryland, and Virginia fighters, they all, Emmanuel Taylor, all that. That's why Tevin, because the Philadelphia area also kind of soaks into that, Even Austin Trout has relocated that way. But listen, we're getting totally off topic here. We're going to go ahead and get to about 2 more callers before we wrap things up. Remember, we're looking for your immediate reactions to the 2 failed weight attempts of Tank Davis. 90 minutes later, he makes weight. We have a fight. Is this going to affect them? Give me your immediate reaction. Oh, we got some alumni on the line. Lucky thing we are going to wait. Let's go out to Texas.
JD, motherfucker.
There's a lot of things I like to move, so just try to get on my games on boxing. I don't know why they gonna call me because I'm a 54-pounder, but I have a brother that's at 160.
Yo,
JD.
What up? Shout out to Gervonta for making that weight. I got kind of scared for a second, but is it getting close to time to start talking about Club 135?
No. Not until we see this more repeatedly.
Well, I mean,
JD, it's 2 ounces.
I think it's.
But it's 2 ounces. That's like a pair of boxers, man.
Yeah, I get it, but at the same time, it raises the question. At least it raises the question. And is it time to start talking about him and Mikey Garcia? You know what I'm saying? That's my immediate reaction. So,
I don't know if Mayweather want to talk Mikey Garcia.
I don't know. Is Mikey Garcia good enough to take on the Tank?
I don't know. It's intriguing, but
Did you just say is Mikey Garcia good enough?
Wait.
Hold on. Did you just say is Mikey Garcia good enough to take on the champ, as in Gervonta Davis? Do you think Mikey Garcia is?
No, I said
Gervonta Davis.
No. I said that is he good enough to take on the Tank?
So still,
but wait a minute. It sounds like you're riding with Tank. If you're questioning,
he needs a new Gamboa. That's what it is. Since Gamboa's retired,
he needs a new short guy to love.
He needs a new short guy to support.
No, listen. I'm gonna say this about the Tank, right? It's only two fighters that come in mind when I think of his fighting style, and that's Roy Jones and a mixture of Roy Jones and Pretty Boy Floyd. So, I don't know. I think the dude got skills, but only time will tell. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, immediate reaction. Glad he made the weight. And is it time to start talking about 135? And I'm out.
Well, JD, man, always a pleasure to have you on the show. Great to definitely get your take. We're going to go out to Indiana. Alumni for real, the former WBC TBV champion, Joey in Indiana. What's going on, brother?
Hey, how you doing, Ness? How you doing, Matt? Man, Ness, I didn't know what was going on. I thought that Gervonta lost the belt, but he did make the weight on the third attempt.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man, that's good. I was like, damn, that would have sucked. My initial reaction, though, was I thought they had something funny going on with those scales, man. I hate to always think, that somebody's trying to pull a fast one, but I was like, because I was following Gervonta on Twitter a lot, and he said he was fine on the weight last night. He said he's ready to go, so they was just kind of shocking. So I just thought that they were, that they did something with some scales, man. But I think it's just going to motivate him more to get Walsh out of there quick, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, if you paid attention to the buildup, Mayweather saying you better not knock out Walsh in one round, drag him. He said, do like I did with Arturo Gotti. You beat him up, you jump on him, motherfucker, and you let him recuperate. You back up, you let him recuperate. Then you jump back on him, then you back up and you let him recuperate. So let's see if Tank can take the direction. Listen, Joey, thank you for calling in all the way in Indiana. We're going back out to the United Kingdom. We have Idris. What's going on, brother? I hear you're going to the fight, man. You must be excited. Talk to us.
Yeah, man. What's going on? I'm going to the fight tomorrow, man. I think I already told you that. But as far as conspiracy theories and that, I highly doubt that, man. I think Frank Warren knows how lucky he is to even be having this fight. And you know what I'm trying to say? In London, being Gervonta Davis and all of that, I think he appreciates that because I don't think he's going to get another fight like that for the rest of the year. That's one thing. Secondly, I was worried for him, man. Gervonta Davis, man. For my first initial reaction, I saw it on Twitter, and I was just like, I gasped, man. I was worried because I want to see that fight. And I want to see it for a world title, and I don't want to see it. I don't want to see like it not for the title because I don't even know how that's going to change the fight. But yeah, man, that's that, man. And Anthony Yard, man, I can't wait to see him, man. Can you believe like he's the light heavyweight? It's got to be the biggest light heavyweight I've ever seen.
I thought he was a heavyweight. He's a light heavyweight.
He's a heavyweight. He's not even a cruiserweight.
That guy's massive. And then you have Daniel Dubois, I believe is his name. He's a heavyweight. He's a really good prospect. He's a huge guy too. You guys got some good prospects. Boy Jones Jr. is fighting this weekend.
From what already. Yeah. I don't really care about him. I'll be honest with you, man. Danny Dubois is 19. I want to see tomorrow because there's so many fights. I think you kind of stop caring about fights that would be important on another day.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So even tomorrow, like, I just want to see Yard. I even want to see the Shakur Stephen Davis. I want to see that, and I want to see the Crawford. Man, I want to see the Gary Russell Jr., but I don't think I'll see that. There's just too many fights. See, certain fights would be important on a day where there wasn't so many events. So I think we're gonna have to compromise tomorrow with so many different shit happening. That's about it, man. But do you know what? I watched a video yesterday. Gervonta Davis, he was in a taxi and he was just driving around London. I swear, I see him eating like some ice cream lolly or something, man. And I noticed yesterday, in my head, I was thinking, should he even be eating that, like with weighing the next day? I know it's a little snack or whatnot, but I was thinking that in my head yesterday, and then this happens today, and I'm like,
conspiracy theory. Listen, Idris, we got to cut you short. Obviously, it is an immediate reaction show. We gave you about 2 minutes and a half there. We got to get out from the United Kingdom to man, why don't I have this soundbite readily available? Where is it? I'm gonna fucking slow the whole show down until I find it. Oh, fuck, it's not gonna be found. Where are you, Matt?
I don't have it.
Help me. Oh, we're gonna go all the way out to
Chinese boxing. I have heard that Chinese boxing lacks any real power.
Scorsese. What's up? He's out there in China, right? Or is it Japan?
Look, man. I can't help but I don't like to do this to fighters, but I'm looking down the line of Gervonta Davis' career and like, cause he with Floyd, so it's like you don't do this with a fight. You're supposed to enjoy it while you getting it, but Floyd be popping that mouth, man. Floyd be talking about he gonna be the next me, then it ain't gonna be another me, and you just like you all confused. Like, should I be? Like, bro, you 23 and you already missing a weight? What is he, 22? He already doing it. And you only like 5'6".
2 ounces.
2 ounces, bro. 2 ounces. He could have took a shit that weighed more than 2 ounces.
I know, but you think about other great fighters that tell me what other great fighters can you think of? You were 22, 21, whatever this dude is.
Technically speaking, though, he didn't miss weight. He made weight eventually. It took him a couple tries, but he made weight.
Okay, but you get the point. You having these issues already. Like, this ain't a good thing for you. This in this kid mind, just like it's in my mind. It ain't as simple as what y'all making it. He thinking like, yo, if I do this my next fight, my career got to be rushed right on up the totem pole to 35, or I might start catch weighting. People not gonna like me because of that. There's all kind of things. Like, I know Duran probably wasn't as young, but when he was at 35, he was missing them weights and wouldn't even care to make the weight sometimes. What happened? He had to shoot up them weights, and he took some L's. So, I mean, is that what Davis gonna do? I mean,
you know, compare Davis to a legend, right?
No, I'm just saying.
But you saying if he had that route of, let's say he balloons up and still beats legends, he still beats great elite fighters. Doesn't matter.
I'm not saying he can do that. I'm saying he would have to go up there. He might take some he might get the W's. He might take some L's. But if you got Floyd loud capping on your side, you can't be Mickey Bay. You gotta be Badu Jack. You gotta win and shit like that. You gotta be Floyd. You can't be promoted by Floyd. He go everywhere with you, and you know you might turn into Ashley Theophane. You can't beat Davis and then do the Theophane, bro. That's just not right, man. You gotta come correct on all facets, bro. Like, if you start fighting at 132, drop a title, you're gonna lose fans right away. That's just where you're gonna have people hating you. And what, you go to 35 and 40, them L's right now. He 5'6", bro. He can't do it. I don't think he can. Get some junior.
Please tell me why you always hating. Please tell me why you always hating.
He is always hating.
No, I'm trying to analyze and say, man, look, I want to see the kid at 135 and reigning, and because I don't want to see him at welterweight. He 5'6". I don't want to see him at 140. He 5'6". That don't belong to 100. That don't belong to 5'6" fighters. He shouldn't be there. You put him in the ring with Terrence Crawford right now, he's gonna look like a child. I don't want to see him there. I want to see the man start the career at 130, finish it at 135. And I don't think it's gonna happen. So I'm just looking down the road saying, yeah.
All right, Scorsese, because I'm gonna go ahead and get to some other calls, but this guy, Matt,
stay in your lane.
Exactly. He wants
LeVar, be nice, LeVar. You know, Scorsese's an alumni caller. You know, LeVar Ball, we're a person.
But why does he want Tank to start at 130 and finish at 135? How could he get on a pound?
Easily go to 140. He could easily go to 140.
No, but why only limit him to 2 divisions? Like, that's pretty weird. Listen, we're gonna drop this thing down. Matt, give me the clock. We gotta put these guys on like a 30-second banger.
Ooh, I got the clock.
This is running longer than what we expected. We're going out to First time caller, 213. First time caller. Two 213-841. You're up. First time caller.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm a first time caller. What's going on, man?
How are you, brother? Hold on 1 second here. I just want to ask you a couple questions. So how long have you been listening? And I don't mean today. I mean in general.
I've been listening probably about 6 months now.
Oh, sweet. So you know the tradition around here. We're going to go ahead and play this first time caller intro. You introduce yourself to the world, man. Let us know your name and where you're calling from.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
All right. My name is Chris. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. I'm currently staying in Los Angeles, California. That's about it right now.
All right, Chris. Well, then talk to us, brother.
Man, I'm just sitting on here listening, and it's crazy to me how everybody's taking this 2 ounces, you know what I'm saying, overboard. Like it's like you said, man, you can take a shit and lose 2 ounces. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing but 2 ounces. And I honestly think that it was a problem with the scales. You know what I'm saying? Like you take somebody out of the ailment, like he just got over there 5 days ago. And like the food and, you know, it's just different or whatever. But it's 2 ounces, a slight little hiccup or whatever. And I really don't even think it was on him.
Yeah, man. I mean, some believe it was the calibration on the scales or the fact that they were using different scales. Chris, thank you for calling in, brother. We always love getting first-time callers. Now, you know we're going to be here every Thursday and Sunday, but we've been doing regular shows, so make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. But you've been finding us for the last 6 months, which I do appreciate, brother. Thank you. And continue to call in. We're going to go out to our last caller, Matt. 754. First-time caller, 754. First time caller, my friend?
The first time.
First time. Beautiful, beautiful. So I guess you know the questions from our previous caller. How long have you been listening?
I think he just dropped.
Holy shoes shit.
Holy shit.
Well, that means we're up out of here, baby, because
damn. That's sad.
We got to keep. I bet you he calls in during our outro. Final thoughts. Final thoughts on this 2 ounces, all the fiasco, all the drama. You know, guys like Scorsese maybe looking a little too into it. Guys, you know, like Larry, able to see both sides of the story. What's your final thoughts? Hippity hipster.
Like everyone at first, when I just saw the headline, you know, missing weight, because when I woke up, he had not made weight yet. I was a little bit shocked, and then I saw that it was 2 ounces, and then I wasn't worried at all because 2 ounces is nothing. And there's other ways to lose a couple ounces or a couple pounds even in a relatively short amount of time. There's a ton of ways to do it. So I was not worried at all. I think anyone that thinks this is a lack of professionalism needs to understand that not all scales are calibrated the same, and that's just a factor.
Scales are created equally.
Not all scales are equal, you know. That's unfortunate, but it's just true. And we've seen this recently. I forget which fight and which card it was, but the scale was really off, and everyone was missing weight by like 3.5 pounds. And they realized the scales were off, and they changed scales out, and then everyone was on point. So this has happened before. It's happened this year. So I'm not worried about it. It happens. Gervonta Davis has made weight. He has not missed weight. He has made weight. Fight is on. Hopefully he's in great condition. This doesn't affect his performance. And hopefully this isn't a trend going forward.
Yeah, man, I don't want to see it a trend, because then it would fall in that Mayweather protege realm that you spoke of earlier in the show. But my final thoughts are simple, Matt. I take shits bigger than 2 ounces, bro. That way more than 2 ounces. So it's like I could piss 2 ounces of water. I drink water all day. I don't think it's a big deal. We all know he sucked down. And I do hear my fellow boxing fans out there that are saying, hey, Ness, all right, if he could take a shit this 2 ounces, he should have took the shit before the weigh-in. but then that's where we factor in this fact that all scales are not created equally. That being said, let's not get carried away with the assumptions. Let's see his next fight, and let's watch this fight. Let's enjoy it. People are comparing him to big names in this fighting world. I mean, he's been compared to Hagler and other greats. I mean, Floyd is saying he's the next one. So he's got some big shoes to fill, and he has to impress us come Saturday. He seems to have the opponent, but we do have our UK demographic that thinks otherwise. So we'll find out come Saturday night. We will be giving you an immediate reaction show possibly to that fight. If Gervonta does an explosive finish, well, then he may just merit it. And this is the channel that you should be subscribed to be a part of that, because the number won't change, nor would the Skype. It will be the same. I'm your host, Nestor Gibbs. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at NesGTO, and you can catch my co-hosts. Not only can you catch them in his social media, but you're going to catch them in Florida putting hands on people. Come Border Wars, July, baby. If you're not following us on Patreon to see, this is another reason why, Matt, this is just another reason why I want to believe that it was the scales and things like that. After going through a training camp, there's no doubt in my mind that any fighter wants to miss weight. No fucking fighter. Only the lazy ones, the ones that aren't running, the ones that aren't doing the 1,000 or 100 sit-ups and push-ups and jumping jacks and fucking shadow boxing, because all that is so fucking demanding. I never ever knew just how much it takes from you. So no, he did not want this to happen. I'm very sure that it was the scales that he was using in his hotel room opposed to the scale that was at the actual official weigh-in.
Yeah, shout out to all the world-class athletes in boxing that make it seem effortless and provide countless hours of entertainment to all of us. But I'm Matt, the Hipster, co-host, co-producer. You can find me at Mixed Combat News on Twitter, Matt Hunter TBV on Instagram, my MMA podcast, Mixed Combat Radios on Patreon, SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, etc. Peace.
Deuces.